2021 school year. As Ms. Bencoma pointed out, I'm Mrs. Grewal, who oversees most of the academic operations. And we have Ms. Bencoma, our college and career specialist, as well as Ms. Giniga, who's one of our counselors. So this evening is all about finding out more information about the various AP classes, that you might be interested in taking for the 21-22 school year. Remember, these are the options that are available when you sign up for course requests. So basically, the format of the evening will be a small preview of AP information by Ms. Bencoma and myself, and that will be followed by the student panel. The student panel will mainly talk about frequently asked questions, that come up literally every other year. And at the end of that, we will give time for the audience to ask us questions as well. They'll be putting it in the chat. Let's get started. On to the next slide.
All right, so advanced placements. What are the basics? AP courses are college-level courses offered in high school. Students will take an AP exam at the end of the course, measuring their mastery of college-level work. That will be about $94, and we offer aid. So if that's a hardship, please don't let that be a barrier, because we have provisions for that. A score of 3 or higher on an AP exam can earn college credit and or placement into an advanced course in college. And the added benefit of that is if you have college credit already in high school, that saves you time and money while you are in high school. So for $94, you may actually save a few $1,000.
So develop college level skills. That's what AP classes help you with. And then also AP classes, it's a deep dive into the areas of interest. Both of these things, they will help you find out what you're good at. And even if you haven't taken an AP class, challenge yourself, because until you try it, you don't know what what you're good at and what you're capable of. And as Ms. Bencoma mentioned, a score of 3 or above can typically earn you college credit, and it can also help you get placed in an advanced course. College admissions look for AP. This definitely improves your chances of getting into colleges. And it also tells colleges that you have taken an AP class and that you are very well prepared for the advanced college work. And also the other thing is that you will know once you get to college what to expect. So definitely it also increases the success rate of getting into whichever particular college that you want to. But again, a score of 3 and above, make sure that you check that college actually honors that as well, because some colleges do accept that and give you credit, some don't. So it's very important that you check that as well, and Ms. Bencoma can definitely help you with that.
Okay, so this is where you want to grab either your phone to take a picture of this or write it down. These are the AP courses offered at Prospect. For English, we have language and composition, English literature and composition. Under history and social sciences, we have United States government and politics, United States history, and world history. For mathematics and computer science, we offer Calculus AB and Calculus BC. Those are 2 separate courses. We offer statistics, AP Computer Science A. Then on to the sciences, we offer biology, chemistry, physics year 1, and physics year 2. That's a 2-year sequence. Visual arts, we offer studio art and drawing. In world languages, we offer Chinese language and culture and Spanish language. And then for AP Info Showcase, more information will be in a web link at the end of the presentation.
So, you know, this is my sixth or seventh, I believe it's seventh year at Prospect High School. And as you can see, the trend, the number of students who are taking AP classes has increased. The number of exams has increased. And also the passing score. So if you look at that chart there, the number of students with a 3 and above score, it is definitely increasing, which has been a great and a move in the positive direction. So we're very proud of all the hard work the students do as well as the teachers. And we are well above the average score for the whole state of California. So, you know, we should all be very proud of this.
So Prospect absolutely has a success plan. And what we do is we affirm that all students can be successful in AP classes. And part of the plan is having conversations, invitations, and tailored information. Means that students realize that they can do it. This is a very personal journey, and your students will feel connected with their teacher and the program. Supports inside and outside of the class to give students what they need for success. And we'll tell more about that, and also our panelists will give more information about all of the support systems.
So what are some of the support systems that we provide? Summer AP boot camp. You know, actually this year we did pretty good. We adjusted to virtual summer boot camp. That was in biology, chemistry, as well as physics. But previous years, they have definitely been on campus. And it tends to be maybe a week or 2 weeks before the actual start. That's where students can come to that class, and teachers actually just, you know, either it's prerequisite skills that'll help you with the AP classes. It's a variety of reasons that the teachers actually have that AP boot camp. We've had boot camps in physics, chemistry, biology, English language, statistics, and hopefully we're looking at expanding this further. And also part of a AP boot camp is Ms. Bencoma and myself are actually looking at time management, how to handle stress while taking an AP class. So that's going to be in the works for this summer as well. We definitely have tutors available from the MESA Club, and MESA stands for Mathematics, Engineers, Science Achievement. It's a club that Ms. D runs, and the MESA tutors actually help out with tutoring. And then we did have snack and study. This was lunchtime tutoring by AP ambassadors. Also, teachers were there during the library. So we're going to look at, and hopefully we're all back on campus so that we can at least implement that snack and study. But if not, we'll find ways to do this virtually as well.
All right, so let's introduce our Prospect AP ambassadors. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we will go to the FAQs, the frequently asked questions.
Hi guys, my name is Komi Sugimoto. I am a senior this year. I am involved in a variety of different things here at Prospect. I'm involved in ASB. I'm on the executive board. I'm also the CSF president, and I also work for the district. I am a chair for the Education Foundation, and I have taken 5 APs.
Hi, I'm Meenakshi Mittal. I'm also a senior at Prospect. As Ms. Graywell mentioned earlier, the MESA Club, so I hold a position in that. I'm the president of MESA, and we'll be going a bit more over that later on. So I've taken 12 APs at Prospect. I've already taken 7, and I'm currently enrolled in 5, as well as I also took one of the tests without taking the course. I self-taught myself the material. So yeah, we can go over that more later.
Hey, so I'm Diego Diaz. I'm a senior also in high school, and I've taken 6 APs so far. I'm the president of Interact Club, which is a community service club. I'm also president of Film Club. I love making videos and short films, and I love running.
Hi, I'm Kiana Raffaele. I'm also a senior. I'm in a club, Outreach. I'm an officer in that club. It's a community service club. I also I play soccer for a prospect team. Obviously not this year, but and I also play competitively. I've taken 2 APs and I'm in 4 AP classes this year.
Hello, I'm Natalie Garcia and I'm a junior and I've taken 1 AP, that was AP Spanish. And something to know about me is that I'm president of both Latinos Unidos and the Fashion Club, and I'm a cheerleader at Prospect.
Okay, so let's see. All right, I'm going to let the students take charge of these FAQs, and thank you so much. As a reminder to our guests, our question box is open, so if you have questions, Mrs. Graywall and I will try to answer those as our students talk, and sometimes the students may answer those too, but we value your questions. So if you don't hear an answer that you're looking for, go ahead and put it out there.
Okay, so the first question, why take an AP class? For me, there was a couple reasons why I wanted to take an AP class. One of them was that I really wanted to challenge myself when it came to certain subjects, especially the ones that I was especially interested in or ones I think I might want to pursue in the future. And also, another reason why I want to take an AP class is because of the atmosphere in the class. You can really tell that everyone in the class wants to kind of challenge themselves and learn maybe more than you would have in a on-level class or an honor class. Another thing that why I really wanted to take it was the possibility of getting college credit, because the idea of saving money and time was really attractive. And the last is just being prepared when I go to college. I feel like I'm going to be a lot more confident in my college courses because I've already kind of had a hint of what it's going to be like. So yeah.
I will be answering the second question. How do you manage your time? So like I said, I am involved in a variety of different extracurriculars on campus, outside of campus, sports as well. But in all honesty, it does get difficult trying to balance the workload and my friends and extracurriculars. But I think the main important aspect to learn from AP classes is time management. There's definitely situations where you're going to have to prioritize, whether it be family time or with your friends or your schoolwork. You're going to have to choose one. And that's kind of the give and take of taking an AP class. But it's definitely worth it in the end when you know that you've accomplished something, or you've done studying, or you're done with completing an assignment. But time management is something that you learn along the way. Everyone starts off in their first AP class not really knowing how to manage it, but it's kind of, you learn as you spend more time in an AP class, and yeah, that's about it.
So I'll be answering the third question, how to ask for help and recognize that you need it. So the first thing, recognizing that you need help. So a lot of times I think students enroll in AP classes unaware of how much work it really is and how much of a step up it is from on-level classes. So sometimes students who soared through their on-level or honors classes might find themselves struggling a little bit more in their AP classes. So I think the worst thing to do at that point would be to ignore the fact that you need extra help, and you'll only fall further behind, and then it'll just demotivate you from ever taking more AP classes in the future. So in these classes, there will likely come a time when the teacher is writing something on the board and you just don't understand it, or you get a bad score on a test, or you don't understand the homework. But that does not mean that you cannot succeed in the class. You don't need to be like a genius to take AP classes. You just need to be willing to put in the work. And that includes asking for help. So yeah, so once you recognize that you may need help in your AP class, there are loads of resources at Prospect that can help you. The AP staff at Prospect, I believe, is truly incredible and really understanding. So my advice would be first just to go to their study hall, send them emails, and like ask if they can take extra time to explain more concepts to you, one-on-one maybe. And I'm sure most of them, if not all, would be happy to help you. Yeah, and it might be a bit scary at first to ask for help if you aren't really used to it, but after you do it once, you'll realize how welcoming all the teachers are, and you'll be able to take advantage of that. And then beyond that, Prospect also offers several tutoring opportunities like MESA and the Homework Center. And these even go on during the COVID lockdowns, and we have even more when we were in person. And yeah, all of these are really great resources for students who might be struggling in these classes.
Okay, so now I'm going to answer, what is the benefit of AP Bootcamp? So I went to one AP Bootcamp before, I think in my junior year when I took AP English Language. And I found it extremely useful because you take it 2 weeks before a class, and honestly, you don't really know much about it besides what they tell you what the course like entails. So the teacher does a personal, like small class of people who are willing to show up to the boot camp. And it's like a 1 hour or 2 hour session of them explaining like key concepts that you're going to learn throughout the year. And I remember Mr. Melton, my AP English language teacher, handed out multiple worksheets that we could go over, and it really helped me like prepare for like day one. And I felt like I was the most prepared in that class among the students who went to boot camp on day one. So that definitely helped. As for, it's not just strictly AP English Language Bootcamp. There's plenty of other AP classes offer that. And I encourage you to attend those because they really do help on day one. And it kind of gets you in the mindset of like joining the AP class.
So I'll be doing the fourth question. What kind of classroom support and AP test preparation is there? So as I briefly mentioned earlier, there's loads of classroom support for AP classes like study halls, MESA, Homework Center, even like AP ambassador meetings. So yeah, so everyone has access to their teacher study halls, which are really the best way to get extra help. And then there's MESA and Homework Center meetings after school. MESA offers peer tutoring in all STEM subjects, including AP classes. And then Homework Center offers help from teachers in all subjects after school on Wednesdays, I believe. So yeah, and then during the regular school year, we also offered support at AP Ambassador lunch meetings. And then just in general, AP teachers all prepare you very well for the AP exam throughout the year, in my opinion. And most of them give a lot of practice exams, extra study sessions, a lot of practice problems as the exams get nearer and throughout the year. There's loads of online resources available as well, like AP Classroom on College Board, which is kind of a new thing, but most teachers will have you do a bit of practice on there as well. And there's also a lot of AP test prep on Khan Academy. So there's loads of resources available to help you get through these courses, and you can definitely succeed if you know how to use them.
So the sixth question is, what are the AP exams like? AP exams are definitely not the same as any other test you would take in a regular non-AP class. I'm just going to briefly talk about the 2 weeks prior to the AP exams. Usually 2 weeks prior, teachers will start giving out review packets and just review worksheets to get you prepared. Some teachers, usually teachers like 2 to a month in that prior. And then the week leading up to the AP exams, the teachers will most likely provide more freedom in terms of studying. They know that each student studies differently, whether it's collaborative or individual, quiet study time. So that's kind of the week up to the AP exams. And then on the day of the AP exams, got to make sure to get all that sleep and everything. But as I know, I know that there's one that starts at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. usually, and depending on the test, there are the schedules all on the College Board website and Pacific time, of course. And you're usually in a large classroom spread apart from any other student. You're only given a pencil and other materials required for the exam, and it's it's kind of long. It's not a regular class time test that you're going to take, but there are breaks in between different sections, and there's definitely no talking. It's not the teacher. You will not have the same teacher that teaches you the AP test. So there will be a separate proctor proctoring the test. And once you're done, you're out of the room and you wait a couple months to get your AP exam scores back. And that's kind of the whole process of AP exams.
The last question is, what are the top tips for first-time AP takers? And I have 3 tips. So the first one is, when choosing the classes you're taking, make sure to focus on your interests. Look at all the classes that Prospect offers and see which ones you are attracted to. I think being interested into the class is really helpful when it comes to motivation. So personally, for me, when I was taking AP Spanish, I was already a fluent Spanish speaker, and I love my culture and learning more about it. So when it came to projects, I was really interested in Hispanic countries, so that would push myself. The second tip would be to acknowledge your skills. Pay attention to what you're good at and what needs improvement. As I said before, I was already fluent in Spanish when it came to speaking it, but when it came to reading and writing, I didn't know how. I just never learned. So I wanted to improve that area, and I knew that it was really important to, so I decided to take that larger step. And my last one is to not be afraid to ask questions and ask for help. I know it's easier said than done, but you never know what that small question could lead to, especially when it comes to the test. Maybe that small question could end up as a big part of the test. So definitely don't be scared and just push yourself.
I love that. That is so much valuable insight from our students. Ms. Graywall, I'm actually not able to see the questions because I'm sharing my screen. Do you want to call out any questions for either for us to answer or our panelists to answer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and most of them I've been answering. So the question that I have not answered is, it says, how do you study for the AP exam? So for those for the panel, I mean, if you have taken an AP test last year or the year before, let's hear from several of you. What are some of the strategies that you use to study for the AP exam?
For me, one of the things that helped the most with studying for AP exams were, one, I like to write out study guides no matter what subject is, especially when there's a lot of content, because it's known that when you write things, specifically handwrite things, you better remember them. I have a tendency to do study guides for each unit. And as I do this, I'm remembering everything from the past semester and the previous units. And then the second thing I think is most helpful is just taking a bunch of practice tests. You can just search up online practice multiple choice or practice FRQ, and there is a plethora of practice tests. And I think the more you take, the more confident you can be taking the test.
Okay, anybody else from the panel?
You know what I would like to hear? I actually would like to hear from our students who took the class or took the test without taking the class. How did you make that decision, and what were your tips? And we don't want to discourage students from actually taking our courses, but why did you feel that you had that, you fit into that category? That's pretty unique.
Yeah, so So while I was enrolled in AP Calculus AB, I decided to take the Calculus BC exam instead. And so that's something you can do because the BC exam gives you an AB subscore. And so it kind of like gives you two scores in one. And so if you get a good score on the Calc BC exam, it'll also qualify you for the Calculus AB exam. So the reason I did that, it was because, well, in my AP Calculus AB class, I felt like I was pretty comfortable with all the material. And then I like looked into it a bit more. I found out that Calculus BC it just kind of goes more in depth. It goes a few more chapters into it. So I self-studied those chapters on my own. I spent a good like 3 or so months doing that. And yeah, I did end up actually finding the test somewhat difficult after doing that, but it still went okay. Like I don't really regret doing that. I guess like in terms of what I used, I went to the Calculus BC teacher at Prospect. Even though I didn't have her, I asked Miss Joanhair for help. And then I also, I used like a textbook I had, and then I also used a lot of online resources like Khan Academy and just like YouTube lectures really. So yeah, that's how I did that.
You know, okay, go ahead, Diego.
Yeah, I was gonna say another way you can study is, I know by the end of the year, there's been a lot of content throughout the year spread out. So some AP teachers offer this, that they do like a study session together, like over the week. They have a couple sessions and you gotta like share with your classmates what you don't know, and then you figure it out together. I think that's a really good way to like study. You can study together as a group. So I really suggest you do that with your friends or ask questions. It's a good way to study.
Just adding on to the AP question that Meenakshi kind of answered, I was a little bit of a different case. I am fluent in Japanese, and I knew that I wanted to focus on taking classes that were more related to my major. And so what I decided to do was try to opt out of the language requirements. And so obviously Prospect does not have AP Japanese, the class itself. So I contacted Miss Graywall. I went to Lee High School to take my exam. And I didn't do much to prep for it just because I'm fluent. But I did go over some of the questions just to make sure what kind of literature composition type questions they were, to make sure that I was, at least I knew what I was going into. And yeah, I didn't receive the credits, but it allowed me to opt out of the language so that I can fulfill the credits with the courses that I did want to take for my graduation requirement. So that's my case.
Okay, Ms. Bencomo, can you share slide 4 again? Because some of the questions are asking what subjects do we offer?
Okay, let me go back to that.
Then another question came up, and I know, Meenakshi, maybe you can answer this one. All right, if not, then I can. If you take the Calculus BC exam, after taking the AB class, do you get credit for the Calculus B class, or do you still need to take the BC class?
Yeah, I don't believe you get credit for the Calculus BC class. It's not on my transcript or anything, but I do have like my AP score from that, basically.
Right, correct. So you don't get the class credit. You'll get your Calculus BC score. Whether the college gives you credit, and that's something that you will have to check. Then we had another similar question. If I enroll in the AP Physics 2, but self-study for the AP Physics C exam, can I sit for the AP Physics C test instead of the AP Physics 2? So correct, as long as you pay for the test, and I usually allow students to take whatever, even if they're doing self-study. But I encourage you also to take the test for the class that you're in. All right, just to see what kind of a score you'll get. So, yes, you can take AP Physics C if you do the self-study, because we don't offer that. And I've had students take AP Psychology, AP Human Geography, but you also, I go back to, I stress that you do want to take the test or the exam for the class that you're in, because that's kind of the whole purpose of AP to some extent as well.
I'd like to add on to that for like the physics question specifically. So in my case, like if you take the BC exam while enrolled in AB, you get a subscore as well for AB. Whereas I think for calculus B, for AP Physics C, it doesn't give you credit for AP Physics 2. So I would recommend taking both, or yeah, I guess I would recommend taking both then.
Right, and I know, and I know this, that for college credit, you have to take AP Physics 1 and 2. Just if you take AP Physics 1, it just doesn't give you the college credit. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Bencomo, but I know that's what it used to be in the past.
That's how I understand it. I want to highlight something that the students have said, and it's reinforced by the tests that they've taken outside of that, that are in addition to the classes. Almost every student has mentioned following your interest, because you're automatically going to do better when you're taking a class that it may challenge you, but it interests you. So look at our courses that we're offering, and if there is something that you're really interested in, take it. You're probably going to do really well.
Okay, and then Comey, I know you wanted to take the next question regards the individual asking, has anybody taken AP Statistics, and what was your experience in the class? Do you think someone with average math skills should take it?
Yeah, so I took AP Stats last year. Meenakshi was actually in my class. And I took 2 math courses at the same time. So I took pre-calc as well as AP Stats. And I think my biggest recommendation or my advice is that if you feel as if you're not necessarily that great at algebra style math, then I would recommend AP Stats, because even though they're in the same math category, AP Stats is definitely a whole different thing than say AP Calculus, which is something that I'm taking right now. Meenakshi, did you want to add something onto that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of the answer I would give too. So I've taken AP Stats and AP Calc. So I would definitely say that like in terms of like how good you need to be at math for both those courses, I would say that stats requires probably a bit less, like you don't need as like good math skills. Yeah.
Right, and one of the questions says, do you take the exam before you enter the class or after? So the AP exam is usually taken at the end of the class that you've taken. And what happens if you don't pass? Well, you still get the grade in your class that you are taking. The College Board decided that a 3 and above is the passing score. But, if you get a low score, it doesn't prevent you from not getting into the college.
Right, and to add to that, the score is separate from your high school grade. Consider it like a bonus. Not every student takes the test. It's optional. So if you want to go ahead and have college credit, you take the exam so that they can see your score and then apply that potentially for college credit. You keep looking at your report card and Canvas. That's how you regulate how you're doing in the class.
Okay, I'm just kind of looking through the questions here. As a sophomore, can I take all the AP classes? Well, the offerings that we have at the sophomore level is AP World History. All the others would be either for juniors or seniors. I can't recall. Well, I mean, I can't recall any. I mean, did any of you take any AP classes as sophomores?
I took AP Spanish, but I was in Spanish with Spanish Speakers 1 my freshman year, and then I didn't feel like challenged at all in that class, so I asked my Spanish teacher at the time if she recommended me going into AP, and she was like, yeah, of course, I think you're ready. So maybe if you want to do AP Spanish or another language, maybe talk to your current teacher. I think she had to write like a recommendation for me, like to get approved, but definitely reach out to a teacher.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then,
go ahead.
Ms. Graywell, I think some students have taken the physics series beginning their sophomore year, but you would have to have special permission for that.
Mhm. All right. I wasn't going to disclose that too much.
Oh,
But yes, you're right. Okay, and then Comey and Meenakshi, you guys want to take the next two questions in the Q&A? Do they show you what questions are going to be like so you can study them?
Yes, they do show you what types of questions there are. All the previous exams with the answer key is all posted on the College Board website. It all says like 2018 AP blank test, and it says how the points are given as well. And it's really, really useful to look at those to make sure what points that you need to get in your answer in order to get the score. And otherwise, not just the College Board website, but there's a lot of, especially with COVID and virtual learning, there's a lot of free outside resources from different professors and high school teachers all around the nation that are giving out free lessons on YouTube and other websites. So I would recommend those if you feel that you need some extra practice.
Okay, Meenakshi, you want to take the next one?
Yeah, sure. So someone asked, if colleges will not give credit for AP Calculus BC without taking the course, what is the advantage of taking just the AP Calculus BC test? So, yeah, so the credit is actually given based on the exam. So while the class won't show up on your transcript, while it won't give you like the GPA boost and it won't show up as you taking the class, colleges will base the credit that they give on the exam score that you got. So it doesn't matter if you've taken the course. Like for example, Komi was never enrolled in an AP Japanese course, but she took the exam anyway, so she gets credit for that. And then like same thing with the Calculus BC test.
Okay, thank you. Can somebody answer what is AP Bio like, if anybody's taken AP Bio? Any of the panelists taken AP Bio?
I'm taking AP Bio this year.
Okay.
And for me, AP Bio has pretty much like from biology, you just go a lot more in depth. And another thing is you definitely connect a lot more of the content to like real world. And I think another thing is you have to, you get the same content and maybe a bit more in depth, but you have to learn to apply that content to various problems. But I think if you really enjoy biology or any science really, I recommend AP Bio. I've always liked learning about like why certain things work and like why some people are lactose intolerant, just like things like that. And I think it's really interesting. So yeah, hope that helps.
Thank you. Diego, do you want to take the next two? Talk about AP US history.
Yep, I got that. So I took AP US history my junior year, and I remember before signing up, there was all this talk and like stigma about AP US history as this really hard, like the hardest class, like at Prospect. I don't know why it was built up like that because while it is a hard class, but I remember it being much more manageable if you split up your time effectively, especially with our AP US history teacher, Mr. Smith. Like it's usually by Monday, you know what your schedule is going to be for the next week or month because they give you a calendar. So it's really easy to, well, it's not easy to manage time, but if you're willing to manage your time, it's actually a fun class to learn about history. And it's a lot of note taking, and you have to like re-study all those notes you take. So I recommend that you're like willing to take notes and you're willing to look over those notes, because the tests are cumulative. So the unit 1 will be about unit 1, then unit 2 is also unit 1 and unit 2, and so on. So it's a lot of note taking, but it's very manageable if you spread it apart. So yeah. And then I think someone's asking about the difference between AP Lit and AP Lang. So AP English Language is more about the structure of writing, and it's much different than all the other English classes at Prospect, because it focuses on how to write essays based off the author's purpose. You're not going to read a book. It's not the typical English class where you read a book and then you write an essay about it. You're going to analyze a speech, and you're going to write about how the author used certain words and grammatical structures to convey what they're trying to feel. So it's a very different type of class. It's more specific, but I think it's one of my favorite classes, because it helped me learn like how to write an essay in under like 45 minutes, and I'm a much better writer because of that. While AP Lit, I'm taking it this year, and it's much more based around reading and English literature. There's some poetry we've been learning, and it's more about you read a lot and then you come in class and you do group discussions. And even in a virtual setting, I still find it very fun, because everyone's so active and interested about the book that we could all share our thoughts. And it's more of a higher level of like discussion than it is in regular English classes. So I suggest both of those classes, because it helped me a lot. AP Lang especially, because it's probably going to prepare me for college essay writing. So yeah.
Diego, did you also take AP History?
I took AP US History and AP Gov.
Okay, not AP World History?
No.
Okay. All right, so one of the other questions is, how many hours per week do you have to invest for an AP class? So panelists, any one of you that wants to answer that? On average? How many hours per week do you spend on any subject area, you would say? You know, a class maybe that's easy, a class that's difficult. How much time do you take per week, roughly?
I feel like it varies a lot just based on the class. So like, for example, maybe like a more work-intensive class like AP Chemistry, you might have maybe like an hour of homework every like other day, or maybe like a few hours of homework every other day. And then it's also like based on just how much you're struggling, like how much more you need to study. But if I had to say like an average, probably like 4 to 5 hours. I don't know, like maybe like 3 to 4 hours. I don't know. I would say that's about how much time I spend on my AP classes.
Okay, thank you. Kiana, did you want to take the next question then?
Yes, okay, so in order for any college to see your AP score, you have to take the initiative to actually send that score to the college. And you can choose, if let's say you didn't do very well, then you don't have to send that to the college. But you can pick what test you would like to send to a college. And they will see what score you got.
Just to add to that, the way that AP tests are scored is a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So there is a probability that a student may score a 1 or a 2. It may be a disappointment, but at least you tried. And then the school doesn't need to know your score. You do not have to report it to anyone. You don't even have to tell your friends what you received. So, but if you score a 3 or higher, then definitely submit the score for those colleges to see how well you did.
Kiana, do you want to continue talking about AP Chem a little bit?
Sure. Okay, so I took AP Chem last year, and one thing that really stood out was it was a very fast-paced class, and you're intaking a lot of information. But if you enjoy the subject, I think it can be really fun. I had a lot of fun in that class. I'm pretty sure the teacher will be the same. Miss L is the teacher for AP Chemistry, and she definitely, you can tell she's very passionate about the the subject, very passionate, and I think that really helps students to enjoy the classes themselves. A typical class day is pretty much you will spend a good amount of time taking notes, and then you guys will work through problems or various worksheets. Miss L definitely makes sure, or definitely makes sure there's a lot of practice for you and a lot of resources. And I enjoyed the class so much that I decided to major in it. So.
Right, and I know there are a couple of questions in the chat regards AP World History, and I know nobody on the panel has taken the World History class, but there are videos, and oh, you have Meenakshi.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think me
go
and
for
Kami
it.
have taken it.
Okay,
Yeah.
talk about AP World History, the workload, what it's all about.
I can, I guess, talk about it a little bit. I think AP World History was definitely my favorite class that I've ever taken at Prospect. The course covers a lot about different world religions, different time periods, and I know the content is changing every year depending like what period of time you learn. So I can't really go into that, but yeah, it was definitely my favorite class. It's the first AP that I ever took at Prospect, and I think it's the class that I made the most friends in at Prospect. I got to get closer with Meenakshi, which is really cool. And I think the environment of being in a class of people that are willing to take that challenge is so different than a regular class. And there's a lot of collaborative work. There's a lot of big projects. And I'm trying to see the teachers. All the teachers are amazing. I can't say specifically about each teacher, but I believe it's, I had, Meenakshi and I had Miss Colclough. There's Mr. Eilertz as well. And depending on the teacher, their teaching style is different, obviously really different, but I've only heard good things. So I think that sums up kind of AP World History. Meenakshi, did you want to add on?
Yeah, I think you kind of said most of it, but I guess like in terms of workload, so it might be a bit like, it might seem like a lot if it's your first AP, which it is for a lot of students, but the workload is mainly usually like chapter notes once a week, and then like maybe a few other assignments due here and there. There's usually like terms quizzes. I'm not sure. Yeah, there will be terms quizzes most likely. And yeah, the exams for that class are like probably more difficult than history exams you've had before. So it is a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. I like that class a lot.
Okay. And then Meenakshi, do you want to answer the other one? Is it hard to take calculus A, B, or BC right after IM3 STEM, skipping IM4?
Yeah, so I actually, I did that. So I took IM3 STEM in freshman year and then AP Calc AB in sophomore year. So it was pretty daunting at first, but what I would really recommend is, so since IM3 STEM, it's basically like a combination of IM3 and IM4. But in my class, we weren't able to cover that much IM4 material. So I believe there was like a packet put together by like a lot of the math teachers at Prospect, which they recommended IM3 STEM students do over the summer if they wanted to do calculus AB. So over the summer, I spent like a few hours every day actually just like studying from a IM4 textbook that I had and just learning a lot of content on my own. And I really do think that helped me a lot with Calc AB. And then after that, yeah, I think I was more or less okay with Calc AB after that.
So I would like, thank you. What I would like to do is let everyone know that we have about 5 more minutes of questions. I can't see the questions, but I see the total number that they're rolling in. So I'm actually going to go to the last slide that we have, because this will give you our contact information where you can reach out to either Ms. Graywall directly or myself. And we have a web link that gives all of the videos to all of the courses being offered. And And those videos actually might answer the questions that you have.
Right.
And before we continue, I definitely would like to thank you for being here, but also please thank our panelists. They are so amazing, and we're so privileged to have them as a part of our school.
So we have about, just a few more minutes. And as I look through the questions, most of them are about how do you manage your notebooks, or, I think the question that we haven't really touched on is AP Computer Science. Any of you in AP Computer Science, and what does it cover, and were you prepared for it? Any of our panelists who took AP Computer Science?
I'm in AP Comp Sci right now. So basically, so far at least, we've been learning Java, and we've just been learning like all the basics. We've learned like data structures. So like, I forget what they're called. So like just like the variable types and how you can use them, like methods, classes, like public, static, all those different things. I would say like, I took a free online course in Java the summer before taking the class, as it was recommended. And that definitely helped me, I think. But then even if you aren't able to do that, the class like does guide you through everything. Yeah, does Komi, do you want to add anything onto that?
Yeah, I know there was someone that asked about how it feels to take a AP Comp Sci without knowing anything. Actually, I took Comp Sci. I went into signing up for Comp Sci without knowing what Java or Python was. I didn't even know that there were coding languages. I did pretty relatively good in the class. It definitely helps to have friends that are willing to do like study group sessions with you. And as of now, AP Comp Sci, it doesn't have one teacher, but it has multiple teachers, part of the TEAL program. And so there are a very large group that's willing to support you all the way, whether we do labs, which are like giant coding project, to stuff like coding project that take like 2 weeks or so. We work in increments. They're always willing to answer all your questions. So if you feel that you're scared to take AP Comp Sci without knowing anything, you're okay. I would say that you can go into taking AP Comp Sci without knowing anything.
Okay, and then one of the other questions in the chat is, how does financial aid work for AP exams? So definitely, the school does provide support. If you are taking, 4 exams, 5 exams, certainly if you're on free and reduced, all right, you definitely qualify for the waiver. And then and even if you don't qualify, we always find some way or some means to help you pay for the AP exams. I realize it's $94, but there is definitely financial help available. And then how does it show up? How do the AP classes show up on your transcript? Well, it will say AP, whatever class that you take. And of course, they are weighted, the classes. So you do get that GPA boost if you are taking an AP class. Can you take an AP exam a year after you take the class if you get 1 or 2 1 year? Can you retake the exam in a following year? Panelists? Let's hear your thoughts on that. Would it be worth taking the exam the second time?
I think if you're not happy with your score in your initial year and you're willing to put in the work to self-study and get prep books, then yeah, I would say go for it. But if you know that the class really wasn't for you, then I wouldn't recommend it. And I wouldn't recommend skipping a year either as well. It just really doesn't make sense to take a class, wait a year, and then take the exam. You should take it when the material is fresh.
And yes, the slides will be shared with you. Can you take both AP Lit and Lang at the same time?
I think AP Lit is just for seniors, I believe. So you could take AP English language as a junior, or you could, if you didn't take it in junior year, you could take it in senior year. So I think in senior year, I think you might be able to take both classes at the same time because you could take Lit and Lang, but not as a junior or below.
That's correct.
Also, one thing to add on about taking AP Lit and AP Lang, even if you take the AP exam for both, for both tests, you can only earn college credit for one English AP test. Not to say that you shouldn't take both, because just taking both classes can be really beneficial.
What grade can you start AP Computer Science? Usually, we have sophomores who are in AP Computer Science. So 10th graders can certainly start in that. Anybody want to talk about AP Art if they are in AP Art?
Yeah, I'm currently taking AP Studio Art. So that class, it's a bit different than usual classes. The exam is also a bit different because you don't actually sit for an exam. You instead send in a portfolio, an art portfolio that you've been working on over the year. And then the class is mainly just focused around that. You are basically just working on these portfolio projects all throughout the year until you have to submit them at the end of the year. And so the teacher for that class is Miss Ulrich. She's really sweet. And she helps you like learn all of the basics of like, just like the basics of like art and design. You, you learn like color theory, you learn like how to structure your pieces. Yeah, it's a great class, but it is like pretty easy to fall behind since there are so many pieces that you have to make. So I would recommend that class if you really like to make art, like I do. So yeah.
Okay, and I think we already answered, do you need to take computer programming before AP Computer Science? I think somebody already answered that on the panel. And then can you explain what AP Visual Arts is like? Well, it's mainly AP Art. And I think Meenakshi just went over that as well. It is 7:02, and I know these students have classes tomorrow. Some of them in AP Bio might have, some of them may have 0 periods. I know chemistry is 0 period. So if you do have more questions, please send them to Ms. Bencomo or myself, and even your counselors should be able to answer the questions. So sign up for the AP classes when you do the course requests for 21-22 school year. And also, if you look on the slide there, click on the link and it will have videos from all of the AP classes that we offer at Prospect. So once again, thank you for coming out. It's all virtual, I realize that. And panelists, we couldn't be more proud of you.
Gracias.
It is difficult to put yourselves out there. I totally realize that. And then also Ms. Bencomo as well. So thank you. Ms. Bencomo.
And gracias to Mrs. Aginiga.
Yes, correct. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye and have a good evening.